I'm joined now by Anne Weyman of the Family Planning Association and by Jill Kirby of the Centre for Policy Studies. We'll get to the statistics, what they may or may not tell us in just a moment, but let me ask you just as a matter of principle. If it were proved that educating 13 and 14-year-olds about sex made them more likely to have it, to be promiscuous, it would be wrong, wouldn't it?
Yes, everybody wants us to encourage young people to have sex later and to have sex when they can make responsible decisions. And the evidence shows that good sex education, which looks at relationships as well as the facts, does do that. And I think that's a strong evidence. And beyond that, too, is the fact that evidence shows that where you have open discussion in the family, that delays the age at which young people have sex as well. So discussion, all the evidence points towards it being a good thing.
It certainly indicates that it's time we took stock and asked whether the current strategy is working at all. And I think the problem is that, as the film demonstrated, there are very mixed messages here going out.
Anne Weyman?
The government strategy covers the whole country, so it's happening everywhere. So we're seeing different patterns in different places. And overall, in 80% of areas, the rate of teenage pregnancy has decreased since 1998 by between 8 and 15%.
I think it's pretty clear from David Payton's report that areas where teenagers have been offered more sex clinics and more access to contraception, then they have reported more sexually transmitted diseases. I think that is the thrust of the report.
No, I was talking about the teenage pregnancy rate. If you look at the infection rates, we know that there is a very high level of undetected infection amongst young people, sexually transmitted infections. So if you provide more services and you bring more young people in, of course the rates are going to go up because you're going to find that infection that has not been found before.
Statistics now are demonstrating much higher rates of STIs amongst young people, and we know that there is a colossal price to be paid for chlamydia in young people and readily detectable sexual diseases as well.
But chlamydia is symptom-free for long periods of time, so if a young woman has got chlamydia and she's not in touch with the service, she may never discover that she has it. Have you seen the advertisements of the government's programme? They quite clearly show that it is perfectly normal and reasonable for young people to say no. And what we have to do is to give people the skills to make decisions and to say no themselves. That's not by telling them to say no, it's by enabling to say no and to resist pressure.
I still submit that the focus of your organisation and too much of the government strategy has been on harm reduction. This is how you manage your sex life. There is endless material being presented to schools which indicates that is how a child, young person, should deal with sex.
All our materials say to young people, you should wait until you're ready, you should not feel pressured into having sex, you must make and to encourage them to make responsible decisions.
Okay.
Everybody wants to see that.
We'll leave it there. Thank you both very much.